live stream, or maybe it's already a video by the time you see this and it's not live. You probably clicked on this title because you're looking at possibly starting your own pest control business, or you're maybe toying around with the idea of different business ideas and just wondering about this whole pest control industry. How much money can you make in this industry? And more than anything, just, how can you go about getting customers? I know a lot of my audience that is already subscribed to the channel, a lot of you guys are already in your own journey of starting your own pest control business. You're in that phase of, now what? How do we get customers? How do we get the phone ringing? And how do we close sales? So, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And of course, if you're hopping in for the first time and you're wondering who is this guy either popping up on my live feed, or like I said, if you're seeing this and it's already a video and you're wondering who the heck is this guy, how does he have any credibility to talk on this? My name is Griffin Thomas. I actually own my own pest control company, Preferred Pest Management, in the Dallas, Texas area, specifically Plano, Texas. We've been in business for about 4 years already, and I just document that entire journey first and foremost in our live streams specifically, or more so kind of a Q&A format. A lot of times we'll have kind of a topic that we want to discuss, but then if you have any questions throughout the way, then by all means just drop them in the chat. And like I said, if you're seeing this after it goes from a live to a video, don't worry, we do these pretty frequently. I try to do ideally one a week. My schedule pending, of course. Sometimes as a business owner and a father and a husband, all that, I get super busy, but I try to do at least one stream a week on average. Sometimes we do even more than that. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that good jazz. That way you won't miss any of our future live streams or videos. And with that, we'll just kind of hop right in to, the overall topic of, how to launch your own pest control business, specifically a profitable, ideally, right? Business. I want to shout out people who are already in the chat. How's it going there? Sesso says, hello, friend. Happy Sunday. Hopefully you all having a good Sunday, those of you that are tuning in. That's why I like doing these on the weekend too, because it also shows me, who is actually most, what's the word I'm looking for, dedicated to starting their business, growing their business, growing your knowledge, just picking the brain of not just me, because that's one thing I always tell everybody. I'm like, I don't have all the answers. If I had all the answers, I'd be, the biggest pest control company out there, right? It's a never-ending journey, and that's what I stress here, is that I'm just kind of documenting that journey just from my experience, things that work, things that don't work, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? So, first and foremost, I want to shout out too, in terms of growing your business and things of that nature. We've had a lot of questions lately about software specifically. We always get questions about, CRMs, GorillaDesk, field routes, this and that and the other. Of course, GorillaDesk is the one that I've been using pretty much since day one. But, I've talked about that various times on here, but specifically phone softwares, because as you start to grow your business, you're going to learn really quickly that, man, I don't really like this idea of having my personal phone also be my business phone, right? You want to have some type of work-life separation there. And you can do it the way that I did it at the beginning, which I think is the wrong way to go about doing this, the most expensive way of doing it, which is you either go out and get a brand new phone line, right? You purchase a phone line. It's usually roughly 40 to 60 a month, depending on how many lines you already have with your provider and all that. And you get a whole nother phone, so you have two phones. Or you can use a software like who we use. We've been using OpenPhone now for about a year now. I wanted to wait before really kind of talking about them, because I always like trying stuff out before actually, like recommending or not recommending it, whatever the case may be. And we've been using them for almost a year now. It'll be a year in July. And we've had pretty much nothing but good things to say about them. Funny enough, I posted a video about them just earlier this week, and my reason for bringing that up is one of their founders, the co-founder of the company, seen that video and reached out, and they're actually hooking you guys up already without even hardly knowing me. They're hooking you guys up with a 10% off your first 3 months if you want to try it out. So if you watch that video already, scratch what I said about, you'll get $20 or whatever it was, 20, 50, whatever it is. You'll actually get now 10% off. So say you go with a plan like ours, where it came out to what, 500 and something for the year, right? You take 10% off of 3 months. 500 divided by 12 is what, about $40 a month, or 50, we'll call it. So you'll save what, about $5 to $10, something like that, per month. And I think there's even a free trial in there on top of that. So if you end up wanting to use that software, try it out, whatever the case may be, they did hook you guys up with a what's it called, like an affiliate link or whatever, which is going to be in the description box of all the videos going forward for you guys. Because to me, that's much better than getting it's like a $20 gift card that they send you, and you have to be a customer for 90 days before they would even send that. So I was like, yeah, no, hook them up with that. I'd rather them get the discount up front than have to be a customer for 3 months and then get their little $20 gift card or whatever. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what you all say about your experience with OpenPhone. Like I said, with us, we've had nothing but good experiences. It saved me a net of like $500 or more a year. I think I broke down the math in that video from earlier this week about how much money we save by shutting down our Verizon line and switching to OpenPhone, because we actually have 3 numbers that we're running through OpenPhone now. And it's just an app too, by the way. It's not like a phone carrier per se. It's just an app that you download on your phone, which that's the other beauty. When you start hiring technicians, what's another cost that you usually incur? You have to purchase like business cell phones, iPads, things of that nature. This allows you to just, hey, you can give your employees certain permissions on the app with their own phone number. Just purchase another phone number through them, kind of like you would a VoIP service like CallRail. For those of you that know about CallRail and all that good stuff, all you're doing essentially is like purchasing a number through them on that app, and you can give the employee certain permissions. You can actually go in on the back end and see all the messages, phone calls, all that with your employee, and you can just have them download that on their phone. So instead of having to purchase a phone, if you want to go the route of, again, trying to save as much money at the beginning and not have to purchase a phone, you could just have them download that app and, create a sign-in, and then everything's all good to go. So, yeah, like I said, definitely interested to hear what you all have to say about that app. I've had nothing but good experiences. Like anything else, you do have to have good cell phone service for it to work, but, that goes for any type of app, right? Give some shout outs here in the comments, or in the chat, that is. Brutal, is that supposed to be Brutal Islander or Iskander? Probably butchering the name. Thanks for all the hard work. I have some questions for you, but I want to give you a brief about my pest control journey. Yeah, no, go for it. Cecil also says, I was just looking at trucks to get for my company eventually, and the price range. Over here, I saw your live notifications. Oh, yeah, no, awesome. Yeah, truck prices, too, they're so all over the place right now. I got our newest one it had like 50 or 60 something thousand miles on it. It was just a rental vehicle that, was like an enterprise car that they were selling in very good shape. And it was like 21,000, I want to say. Because I always try to keep it relatively cheap. I look for good mechanics, like in terms of the mechanicals of the truck, and there's no point. That's one thing I can't stress enough when you're in that journey of starting your pest control businesses, is like, don't go out there and buy some $70,000 truck, $50,000 truck even. Like, go out and buy what you can afford and just focus on the mechanics. If you don't know a lot about mechanics of vehicles and stuff, then bring someone with you who does. And, if you don't know anyone that does, I don't know what to tell you. Like, go YouTube some stuff and figure it out at the end of the day. But, like, my first truck I purchased, it was like $13,000. Now, I will preface that with, this was before the inflation took off, because I bought that truck in like November of 2020. And of course, the inflation didn't really start taking off until 21, 22, right? That truck had about 90,000 miles on it. But again, good mechanics. It was actually a perfect setup. Those of you that have been following the channel for a while, seen that truck, it was like a perfect setup. Threw the rig in the back, had the cover and everything. It was good to go. But yeah, that's when it comes to purchasing a truck, that is the number one thing I cannot stress enough, is keep the cost of your first truck as low as possible. Even if you can afford, say you got enough money in the bank to go buy, say, a $50,000, $70,000 truck, why do that? Save that money and put that into your brand, your marketing, your website, all that stuff that we talk about over here. And then when you start having, like I always talk about, proof of concept that, okay, I'm getting the customers coming in, I'm starting to grow this route, then go ahead if you just have a nice truck for some reason. And when I say nice truck, I'm saying like top of the line, beautiful, like what a Ram or a Tundra, something that's like brand new, super beautiful, all that stuff with all the technological BS, then go ahead and do it at that point. But in my opinion, these are service trucks at the end of the day. As long as the mechanics on them are good, you get something like a Nissan, a Toyota, something of that nature that lasts forever as long as you take good care of it, then that's all you really need at the end of the day. We're not doing lawn care out here, right? Like we don't have 100, 200, 300 gallon or more tanks in the back of our trucks. Like, we don't need anything like that. So definitely keep it under control in terms of that cost. Let's see. He said, I've already finished all the administration work. I'm supposed to launch some Google Ads by next week. I wanted to know what kind of tips you can share with me that can help me. So yeah, I actually have a lot of videos on Google Ads. I think I have like a playlist, actually, as a matter of fact, that you might want to check out after the live stream called, I think it's called like our Google Ads series or something like that. And I pretty much, as far as I recall, I know I uploaded videos about that as early as just a couple months ago when we were in the brunt of actually running our Google Ads. And yeah, I always publish content over there. Some people were like begging that, let me put it to you this way. Everything that I know is in the Google Ad series, essentially. If you want a very in-depth kind of step-by-step, people were begging for it. You guys know I hate selling stuff and all that BS. I don't like doing any of that. But enough people were begging for it that I went ahead on our website, griffinbthomas.com, which is also in the description box below. I made a very in-depth like Google Ads, like an intro course. So if you want to check that out, at least look at it. I think you can like get a preview of like every was like chapter or module, whatever you want to call it, that you can look at. But like I said, most of what you need will be in that Google Ads series playlist, which is on YouTube for free. But like I said, if you want kind of a more in-depth, like kind of step-by-step type of setup, one, I am actually going to be adding to that soon because there was one thing in there that I think I left out that I've been meaning to make a video on and put in there. But like I said, for the most part, everything will be in that Google Ads series that, you need to at least get up and get going. Let's see. Business is based in the UK. We got London, UK in the house. It's also my first experience to run a company, yet I've worked for a pest control company for over 6 months. I've been with them since I've started. I'll certainly look out for this phone service. It'll definitely help a lot. Yeah, no, it's definitely, I'm guessing you're talking about Open Phone there. Yeah, Open Phone, man, I can't stress enough. Like, when I found out about that, that's, again, one of those things where, like, if I had known it existed when I started my business back in 2020, I would have saved so much money because I was paying, I did get the phone for free because there was, what was going on at that time? Some, like, one of those holiday sales or something where they'll like give a phone for free when you open up a new line. And I got the phone pretty much for free. I think it was like $1 a month essentially, but the line was still $45 a month. So you do $45 a month over 12 months, it comes out to what? And after tax, it's about 50, right? So $50 a month times 12 months is $600 a year for one line, one phone, where on Open Phone, I can literally open a line up for somewhere around like $15, $15 to $20 a month, essentially. I think with that discount link that we have in the description box for you guys now, your first 3 months comes out to something like $15, 15 or 16-ish a month. And like I said, I believe there's even a free trial in there on top of that too. So yeah, something where it's like, why not at least try it versus going and buying a phone, opening a new line, paying over $600 a year when you can pay about $200 a year. No brainer, in my opinion. But yeah, no, to your point on it's also your first time to run a company. Yeah, I mean, you'll being that you already have experience. You say you've been in the industry about 6 months, which ideally you'd have another 6 months. I found that I pretty much after my first year or so in the business, I kind of, I'm not gonna say knew enough, but I knew enough in terms of the killing the bugs, target pest treatments, exclusion work, all this stuff to go out and do everything. And then in terms of your admin work, you'll learn on the fly with that type of stuff. And if you go through all the content that we have specifically on the playlist, things I wish I knew when I started my pest control company is one playlist I have on here. And then what's that other playlist? I think it's like a podcast playlist on YouTube. It's something like starting and growing a pest control business videos or something like that. I try to have playlists for you guys that way, like for whatever stage that you are in. Like I said, we have the Google Ads series. We have things I wish I knew when I started my pest control business. Like I try to categorize the videos that way you can just like go to the channel and then pretty much just start binge watching them if you want, and take that notepad out or whatever your note taking strategy is, and get to work. Let's see. Sensvo said, I want to keep my price around 10 to 15,000 for my first truck. Yeah, it's not a bad plan. I will say with inflation, you might be pushing upwards of that 15 range, but like we said, as long as you focus on the good mechanicals and things of that nature. I see your profile pictures of cars, so I'm assuming you know a little bit about cars. Like you said, lasts a couple years, and it'll be long enough where if nothing else, you'll have a lot of equity built up into it. You can sell it, trade it in, whatever, as a down payment on your next truck, and then just roll the ball down the road from there. Also, bear in mind, I'm really tight when it comes to the budget. Unfortunately, I've only got around $300 to run ads. Are you saying, when you say 300, are you saying like 300 a month or 300 total? Because if you only have 300 total, I would not run Facebook ads early on. I would actually start out with like Google local service ads, because when you're brand new, they're going to push you up the list, give you some friendly pricing early on. So that's the route. I would go more towards the pay per lead route. So we're talking Google local service ads. Dare I say, Angie. Before Angie, probably Thumbtack. There are other ones out there too that aren't as well known, but that do drive leads, like eLocal. eLocal's one that I tried, and they do actually produce ads. And they were charging us, this was about a year or two ago, they were charging us about $26 to $30 a lead. So that's the main thing, is if you only have $300, you want that money to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, every dollar counts, right? Like, you want that money to get stretched out as far as possible. With Google Ads being totally upfront, your first $300 to probably even $1,000, especially if you've never run Google Ads before whatsoever, you'll be lucky to get one or two customers out of it. But even doing everything that I tell you, by the way, because there's a learning phase with the Google Ads. When you've never run a Google ad before, I didn't mean to set that to follow me. There we go. I have a little camera following thing, and it was like following my hand, I think. Where was I going with that? I totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, when you have a brand new Google Ads account, brand new website, everything, Google knows nothing about you, including Google Ads. And even if you do everything that we talk about in the Google Ads series, on the Google Ads course over there, all that type of stuff, there's a learning phase. And unless if you have approximately $50 to $100 a day to just kind of burn, is what I like to say, it's going to take upwards of minimum 2 to 4 weeks for your Google ad to actually really start producing. And that's if you're staying on top of it, constantly adding the negative keywords, tweaking your keywords, adjusting your bids, all that type of stuff every single day, essentially. So yeah, if you only have $300 total for ads, like I said, I would go more the route of lead gen, pay per lead, like Google local service ads, Thumbtack. I might shut that thing off. There we go. I was using it more as a tripod today because I'm not doing any presentation or anything. like I said, just pay per lead. That's the route that I would go. And then once again, like we always talk about, proof of concept. Once you have that proof of concept, you have some leads coming in, you have some customers coming in, you have some money coming in to reinvest into the advertising. Then maybe start toying around with Google Ads, $25, $50 a day, and depending on your market, that is $25, $50 a day. Some markets 50 to 100 a day. Some markets even more. My market anymore is like 100 to 200 a day if you really want to have the phone ringing every single day from those ads. We'll certainly check that out today. Yeah, no problem. Adrian Gonzalez, hi, I'm Adrian. Yeah, nice to meet you. I don't know if it's your first time here. I think we've had another Adrian or two in here in the past. But welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything too, that's why I always on the thumbnail for the live streams, for the most part, I'll put Q&A in there, because all the live streams are more Q&A format. I'll talk about things based on the subject, like today's subject is how to start, what did I title it? How to launch a profitable pest control business. We're going to dive into some of that more as the questions. I notice we from time to time have some dead space with the questions. I'll dive more into the actual topic, but all the live streams are more Q&A format. So if you have any questions about like starting a pest control business, growing it, marketing it, cancel rates, things of that nature, just let me know. And hopefully you guys are liking the live stream so far. So we got like 10 to 12 of you in here. If you're enjoying it so far, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. It helps YouTube like push it out to other people that may be interested in this type of content. Let me see. I think we got another question here from Cespo. Been wanting to ask how much was it to letter your truck? I keep finding anything pricing wise on Google. So yeah, it's gonna, to a degree, it's gonna vary based on where you live. I forget where you are exactly, Cesfo, but I know, like for me, both trucks, because one I got labeled in like 2020, right? Again, before inflation took off. That truck, it cost somewhere in the range of about $300 and change to get labeled. And then the truck that I got recently labeled, about a year and a half ago. How much did that one cost? I think it was like $350, if I remember right. It was around like $330, $350. So of course, with inflation, everything's gone up, right? But it also depends on the complexity of the labeling. Like I know I have another competitor down here. I think it's called like T-Rex or something like that, pest control, and he's got a crazy label, like it's like a dinosaur on the side and on the back, like almost like a wrap essentially. And I guarantee you that was probably at least $1,000, maybe more. I don't know. I haven't talked to him personally about it or anything, but the whole thing is obviously the more complex you go, are you going more of a wrap or are you going more of a label like how we do, where yes, we got our logo on the side, we got our logo on the back, but after that, all we really have is the phone number on the back, the website, QR code for people to scan if they're behind us and they want to scan to look at the website, that is. And but I would say if you're going fairly simplistic, that you're probably going to be looking somewhere around the price range of $300 to $500. I would definitely go with a local company. That's usually going to save you a little bit more money versus going with some of these larger companies that do it nationwide. But yeah, usually it's not too much. It's not as much as some people claim. Some people are like $1,000 to $3,000. Like I said, if you're going with some crazy wrap, of course it's going to cost a lot more. But if you're going more of that simplistic route, then it's going to save you some money for sure. Let's see. Adrian said, I subscribe to your channel. Oh, yeah, no, awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys are enjoying stream so far. If you're new here, by the way, go ahead and subscribe. Of course, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. That way you won't miss any of the future live streams. We try to go live ideally once a week. Of course, I am a business owner, so sometimes the schedule just doesn't allow for it, but I try to go live ideally once a week, kind of more of these Q&A formats. Just to answer any of your questions that you may have about like starting your business, growing it, advertising it. What else? Customer retention. That's something not a lot of people talk about, customer retention. I actually uploaded a short, I think it was either this morning or last night, about, what you should expect in terms of, your cancel rate. It was actually from a previous live stream. I just took the clip and, uploaded it as a short for you guys, but I thought it was definitely good information for you guys because a lot of people don't really think about, what should my cancel rate be? I know when I first started really growing, we had that first 50 to 100 customers. There really weren't any cancels, right? Because you're very, very small. But whenever, you get to a certain level, I'd say north of 100 to 200 customers, you're gonna start inevitably having cancels. And when that first happens, when you get that first cancel, you're gonna be really down on yourself because you think going into it, oh, I'm never gonna have cancels because I'm gonna provide the best service, this and that and the other. But the reality of it is just the more customers you get, you're gonna start having cancels. And a lot of people don't really think about that. And it's really easy, again, when you're first getting started to kind of get down on yourself. Like you almost want to do whatever it takes to get that customer back. When in reality, a lot of it is things you can't control. The moving, layoffs. I've had a lot of layoffs this year. People dying even. I had my first customer pass away about a year ago, just out of the blue. There's a lot of things that you can't control. And it just comes with the territory. The larger you grow, the more cancels you're going to have, the more callbacks you're going to have. So it's very important to track those. Some people refer to it as KPIs. I just call it statistics because that's all it is, really. It's very important to track those stats in terms of, okay, what's our cancel rate in terms of percentage? What is our callback rate in terms of percentage? Track that stuff. That way, like we said, you can stay profitable with your business. Definitely going to have more of a simplistic design. Still got to figure everything out, but have a year or so to do so. Yeah, you're still in that, like, just kind of doing the homework, figuring it all out stage. It sounds like. Definitely going to support smaller local business. Exactly. Yeah, because you might even get a referral or two out of it. Adrian said, gotta go. Have a great day. Yes, sir. You too. How's it going, Stony? Stony in the house? Trying to explain an attic infestation to a customer. It's a complete ecosystem. First little bug got in, and then gecko, lizard. Oh, yeah. And now mice are eating the geckos. Good Lord. And you got a little bit of everything going on up in the attic right now. Yeah, no, that reminds me. I had one just, what was this, about 2 months ago, maybe 3? It was like early spring, probably like March or April. I had a customer call me out, Terminex customer, who, and I think I might have even referred to this one in a live stream recently, where she had me come out. She just wanted second opinion because, of course, they were trying to sell her on exclusion, Sabex, full 9 yards, right? Like a $15,000, $20,000 quote, like always, right? And I went out there. Attic looked pretty clean. I mean, I didn't see no tunneling, no nothing, and I ended up doing more than what I usually do for an attic inspection. Like I was literally walking on the not the trusses, but the studs, I guess. Feeling for them and the insulation and everything else, which I don't suggest most of the time, and do not have your employees do that without walking boards, of course. But because I was just like, what the hell were they seeing? And I knew in the back of my head, I was like, they're probably trying to screw her. And sure enough, I ended up finding like a little pile of, like you said, like gecko droppings with, a little white dot and everything. So I took a picture, I explained it to her, and ended up flipping her, obviously, because like I told her, I was like, everyone could use an exclusion service. Like, it's never a bad idea to get an exclusion service done, especially where you live. She lives in an area where they're literally tearing the field out, putting a whole new neighborhood in the Fate, Texas area, just east of Dallas, or I guess northeast of Dallas. And I was like, it's never a bad idea. I was like, but are there really any signs that anything's getting in right now? Absolutely not. I was like, you definitely don't need the attic remediation, classic snake oil salesman trying to sell that BS. They were telling them that she needs her insulation pulled out, sucked out, pulled in, put back in, all that good stuff. And it was just, they were trying to pull a fast one on her. And what pissed me off the most about it was I can tell she probably told them the same thing she told me she's like, gosh, there's been one thing after another. My husband just died earlier this year, blah, blah, blah. So, like, she's a newly widowed woman. She hasn't had to deal with any of this stuff. And this damn Terminex salesman went out there and just, did what a lot of them do. Instead of trying to just solve the problem at hand, um, I wasn't trying to even sell her anything. I told her, I was like, in all honesty, you probably don't need anything. I was like, if you want, just for your peace of mind, we can set some traps up, set some stations up, check it after a month or two, go from there. And she ended up wanting to do that. But, like I said, ended up flipping her. She was on Pest, termite, full 9 yards with Terminex. But all it took was one salesman being too greedy and being snake oil salesman to mess it all up. So, yeah, that what you were just talking about there, Stoney, kind of reminded me to him. Yeah, he said it's a complete ecosystem. Yeah. I'm betting when you said some bugs got into the attic, let me guess, some American cockroaches. That seems to be the most common thing that I see in attics is American cockroaches, especially some of these older homes. I've noticed. Let's see. I did not know that mice ate geckos. Of course, don't have geckos where I am. Yeah, did he say mice? Yeah, he did say mice. Yeah. For me, I don't really. Once I get out further in the country, like out where we live now, I deal with some mice, but for the most part, I'm dealing with rats. Um, and he might be dealing with rats too. Well, he said the feces are a quarter inch, so it probably is mice. But yeah. Let me see if we have any other questions real quick. Wanted to make sure I was scrolled down all the way. Yeah, I mean, in terms of, like the whole topic, so to speak, of how to launch a profitable pest control business. If you're wondering like what I'm looking at, I have my laptop pulled up here as well, just to kind of make sure that like I'm hitting certain bullet points and things of that nature. Um, like I said originally, those of you that clicked on this stream, regardless if you're tuning in for the first time or you've been tuning in for a while, the title probably got your attention, right? You're wondering how can I launch a profitable, specifically pest control business. It all goes back to kind of what we were just talking about a minute ago, where like you have to track some of these KPIs. You have to track what are your callback rates, what do we mean by callback rates? Reservices, right? How often are people calling you in between services that they need another service? Because obviously that costs time, money. You got your wear and tear on your vehicle, your technician costs. Even if it's you are still the technician. So your costs, your chemical costs. There's so many costs that go into just a reservice. So you need to be tracking all this different stuff. How much is it costing you to acquire each specific customer? Are most of your customers coming in organically from your website? Are they coming organically from your Google Business Profile? Are they coming in from some of these lead gen? How much are you spending on some of these lead gen websites? You gotta constantly track where your customers are coming from. That is where having softwares in place like CallRail, who how long have we been using CallRail now? 2 or 3 years. Another one of those services where I'm just like, dude, if I had it in place day one, I mean, sure, Google, specifically with Google Local Services, does a good job of letting you know. It has its own kind of tracking on the back end where it'll ding in your ear, call from Google to let you know it's from Google Local Services. And then, of course, they have their list, but not every lead generation platform has that, which is very weird. Stay away from the ones that don't, in my opinion. But even whenever you get a call, like I remember for the longest, my first year or two, if I didn't hear the call from Google ding or, Yelp or whatever the case may be, see where it was coming from the specific apps, I had no idea where the call was coming from. I was like, did they call me from my website? Did they call me from my Google page? Did they call me from, seeing my truck out in public? Like, I had no idea. And then when we got CallRail put in place, which is about $100 a month, depending on how many phone numbers you want to track, web pages and things of that nature, it literally changed the game for us because we knew where every form was coming from. Like when someone submits a form on our website, it will tell us at the bottom, it'll tell us down to what type of device they were using. It'll say iPhone, what type of software, iOS 15 point whatever. I mean, it'll tell us virtually everything other than their location, right? Like it'll tell us all of that, what device they were using, which web page they clicked on, Was it, depending on if it's an ad or organic, you can even have the keyword that they typed in. What did they actually search to find your web page? What web page on your website they filled the form out on? Everything that you need to know where the customer's coming from. So putting some stuff like that in place is a must as soon as possible. Um, if I were from a quote unquote software standpoint to say kind of most important to least important, what you need to get put in place, I would say first important is obviously, your like QuickBooks, whatever you're using for tracking cash flow, your business, obviously. Next would be your CRM, like GorillaDesk. Again, if you want to try GorillaDesk, you can try it 2 weeks for free, the pro version. Link is always in our description box. Yeah, it's in there right now. So link is in our description box for that. They're giving you like 2 weeks of the pro version for free. Number three, this is where it gets tough for me. Number three, I gotta say, is probably open phone, unless if you are okay early on with your personal and your business just kind of being formed together. If you're fine with that, then open phone can probably be bumped down to number four, and number three would probably be call rail after that. But either way, call rail, open phone, it's kind of flip your coin, take your pick. But those two, in my opinion, are equally as important. And in terms of cost, again, QuickBooks, if you're going with the most basic, because you probably are early on, unless if you're, hiring employees from the get-go, you're going to be talking roughly $30 a month, plus or minus a few bucks for that. GorillaDesk, again, you can get it free for 2 weeks, and then if you go with the pro version, it's like $99 a month, and then $50 or $49, something like that, per technician going forward. Or you can go with their cheap version for like $49 and always upgrade it at any time. Open phone, like we said, there's a free trial and a 10% off your first 3 months in the description box below this video as well, when you use that little referral link. But it's something like $15 to $20 a month per phone number that you want in there. Call rail is usually about $100. Each phone number you add is going to add like $5 or $7 in terms of tracking and all that. But usually it's around $100, 110 bucks, depending on how many numbers you put in there. What else in terms of software? I feel like I'm missing some. I mean, of course, you have your website stuff. I suggest opening a WordPress website because it's very customizable. The thing is when you do that, you're going to have a lot of different softwares within the website that you got to pay for. Like for SEO, we use Rank Math. That's like $90 a year. For the hosting, we use Kinsta, which is like $37 a month, which I will say is one of the more expensive ones out there. You can use like Bluehost and all these other ones that are like $5 to $10 a month. But either way, we'll say $5 to $30 a month essentially for that. Then you got, there's a lot, there's just a whole bunch in there. It pretty much adds up. If you're looking at a yearly cost, you're probably talking roughly $1,000 a year to kind of operate your website at an optimal level. And that's, again, if you're doing it in-house. If you're going to hire it out, then for someone that's legit, that knows SEO, that's going to be publishing blog articles and things of that nature to boost your SEO and manage the website, you're probably looking somewhere around $3,000 a month, if not more. It could be a little less, but any of these that are offering it to you for like $100, $200, hell, even $300 to $500, a lot of them just aren't very good, unfortunately. You'd be better off if you don't have the $2,000 to $5,000 a month to spend, then you'd be best to do everything that we talk about on this channel, to type up your own articles, publish YouTube videos, do all of the coding that you need to do, which is very minimal, by the way. But yeah, that's kind of most important to least important. All of it's important, but if you have to kind of do one at a time because cash flow is very restricted for you, that's where we would start. How's it going there? Bug out, termite, and pest. What's up, dude? I caught a pet store rat. Oh, shoot. Have you ever had Google delete a customer review? Oh, dude, I can't tell you how many times. I lost one the other day. Ironically, when we hit 10 reviews, it deleted my most well-written review a customer gave me. Yeah. Dude, If Google would leave my reviews alone that customers post, I would probably have north of 150, 160 reviews right now, because I give a review credit. It depends on, how easy the reviews are coming in. Usually on average, I give a $10 credit for a review given. I don't tell them it has to be positive. Like, I send this to everybody, regardless if I feel like, ooh, they might leave me like a 3 star or whatever the case may be. I send it to everybody. I'm like, by the way, if you want to earn a little discount, we do give a $10 review credit for any type of review. Just make sure you send us a screenshot, because of the fact that, like you said, bug out, termite and pest. Google will either hide the reviews, they say they're holding them for review, and then like never publish them. I had one take 3 months before the review actually published. Customer sent me a screenshot, had the screenshot, and gave her credit, because like I tell them, I'm not gonna hold you accountable for Google's bullshit at the end of the day. Like, you went through and you left the review, I'm gonna give you your $10 credit. But yeah, I mean, there's been probably at least 40 times that I can count just off the top of my head. Now, I will say it's gotten a little bit better recently. I want to say the last time it happened was probably, it might have been at least 6 months ago now. Like, it's been a while for me. The main thing is, a lot of times is if they've never left a review before, or it's been years since they've left a review or like done anything on their Google account, those are usually the two red flags for Google, that they're either A, not going to publish the review at all for the public to see, or like you said, they might even allow that review to be published, but then they take it down. So yeah, it's one of those things, unfortunately. Like I said, it has gotten better at least, so hopefully that trend will continue in the right direction, and, they'll stop doing that BS. It's funny, I never see the bigger companies have an issue with it that have 3,000 plus reviews. It always seems to be the smaller companies, ironically, that deal with this issue. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is early on, I would tell your customers, give them some guidance. I don't know if like you're telling them in person to leave you a review, or if you're sending a text. Usually I'll tell them in person that they'll get like a review text or email sent to them, so they're expecting it already. I'll give them the rundown about the review credit and all that type of stuff. And then whenever I have the automated text sent out about the Google review, it'll say in there, it'll almost kind of give them ideas on how to leave us a review. It'll be like, don't know what to put, here's some ideas. And then, it fills in with like, how did you feel about how the service was performed? Like, you're not telling them what to say, you're giving like thought, and what's the word I'm looking for? Like thought provoking prompts. Like, you're saying, having issues coming up with what to write for your review, here's some things to think about. How did you like the service that was provided? How did you like how the technician spoke to you? Like, you're just giving, again, those thought provoking, because the main thing is, the more, like you said, even though this is crazy, they left a detailed review, that is your only hope, in all honesty. The more detailed the review is, the less likely it is to be removed. Usually the ones that get removed the most, the ones that I had removed the most, or that didn't publish at all, were the ones where it just said like 5 star with nothing, or 5 star with like one sentence that said like good service or something, something very minimum, right? So yeah, it's a racket for sure, but we just do what we do and just keep it moving. The beauty is, at least, that for every review that doesn't publish, I usually get at least 6 to 12, now probably even 15 reviews that do get published. So, and my thought process is okay, a review didn't publish today, but that means that we're on a roll in terms of getting the reviews, right? If that makes sense. Trying to at least look at it on the bright side. But yeah, it is BS, to say the least. Sesvo said, gotta head out. Once this uploads later, I'll watch the rest. Hope you have a great time. Yes, sir, you too. Bug Out says, geez, that's lame. I still have the email, but it doesn't show a full review. Of course, the big guys don't. Right. And don't get me wrong, there's a little assumption on my side. Like, I'm just going based off the fact that because I have a Google Chrome extension. Let me see if I can get it pulled up for you guys. It's like a, what's it called? Like GMB Everywhere or something like that. I'm trying to find it real quick. Yeah, GMB Everywhere, where it will run like review audits on my competitors and show like how many reviews they've gotten since this date or whatever. And when you see dozens of reviews, like it just looks like based on that data that like they're not having that issue. But who knows? It could be the same thing as us, where, these companies that I'm referring to have like 20, 30, 40 technicians. That's a lot of customers, right? So they may be getting, we'll just call it 6 reviews a day, but who knows? Maybe one review every 2 or 3 days isn't showing up, right? So it's hard to say. There is a little assumption on my part on that, but it wouldn't be a surprise either. I've been pushing hard because I can't afford ads yet. Yeah, no. I mean, you're going about it the right way. I mean, if you cannot afford advertising, then your best bet is to go get reviews like crazy, publish on your Google business profile regularly, like actual legit updates, not like a social media post, like a legit update that is full, not keyword stuffed, but filled with the keywords. Like, say you're trying to rank in Plano, Texas, where we're located, right? You want to call out, hey, homeowners in Plano, Texas. I compare it to typing up a Facebook ad, not a Facebook post, but a Facebook ad. We've all seen those ads, right? Where it's like homeowners of Dallas, Texas, like it calls you out immediately. That's how you want to start the post. And then like have, whatever your little update is about. Usually what we will do is we will, anytime we come out with a blog post, we will go ahead and create a post in Loomly that will go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Business Profile, LinkedIn, everything all at once. And that way we're getting backlinks immediately from the social media profiles to this new blog article. And then again, it's pushing up the chain because we link it up to our Pest Control Plano, Texas page, or Pest Control Dallas, Texas page, whatever page that may be, because your best chance of ranking is getting Google to recognize your service location pages and your homepage up the SEO, like the actual, like the Google listings, but also that will indirectly affect your Google business profile reach as well, if that makes sense. We've looked at it on Local Falcon before, and what's that other tool that we used before Local Falcon? I can't think of it now. Bright Local. There we go. Those two. Bright Local and Local Falcon. Those are your two main ones to keep track of your Google business profile ranking as well within like a 5 mile, 10 mile. I wouldn't necessarily suggest going over a 10 mile radius with your search because you're just not going to rank well. Unless if you live in a very rural area where there's just not a lot of competition, say within 20 miles of you, there's like 4 pest control companies, then all you got to do is do everything that they're not doing, and you're going to rank number one, number two within that 20 mile radius. But if you're in a highly populated area like I am in the North Dallas, Texas area, where there's, hundreds of pest control companies in a 20 mile radius, then you'll be lucky to rank within a 5 to 8 mile radius of your location. It'll get better and better as each year goes on, but the most you're usually going to rank in that top 3 where you want to rank is in the Google business profile specifically, not your website. Your website you can rank damn near anywhere. I mean, how do you think companies like Terminix, Orkin, etc., that are nationwide are able to get their website pages to rank across the country? Because they have the SEO game down for the on-page SEO. What we're referring to is your Google business profile local SEO is what it's referred to as. With that, if you can get a good reach of 5 miles or so, you're doing pretty good for the Google business profile. For me, let me actually pull up my rankings. Now, keep in mind, it is Sunday, and we are closed at the time of me running this search. If you all see my update about the Google Business Profile algorithm update, when was this? Back in like March, I want to say. Somewhere around January through March, they had a algorithm update that your rankings would slide like a mofo in your after hours, which I didn't mind personally because to me, if Google's really trying to rank the companies based on customers' overall experience, why would they rank a company that is closed ahead of a company that is open, regardless of review count, how optimized their pages, all this other stuff? Um, I'm running the scan right now and should be done here within the next minute, it looks like. That's the thing with Local Falcon is it does load slower than Bright Local, but I've noticed that the accuracy is a lot more accurate with Local Falcon, and it's cheaper. It's like $10 a month cheaper. So if you're looking for one of these SEO tools for like tracking your local SEO, Local Falcon is the way I would go. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't have a discount link or anything for you guys, unfortunately, out that way, or not out that way, but for them. But like I said, it is a good product, and I don't mind shouting out good services and good products. So within, this is a 5 mile radius. This is a 5 mile radius. Our average rank, let me pull up the actual, like, it's called scan report. This is something that I like to do when I can actually share the screen with you guys. I'll probably do like a video update on that at some point for you as well. Let's see, competitor report. This is the main report that I like to run, the competitor report. So it shows you where you are compared to your competition. So the number one company right now, which again, this is a 24/7 company, so it makes sense that they're rated as good as they are, is Allsafe. Allsafe Pest and Termite. Their average rank in the same grid is 6.25. My average rank, I'm number 5 overall in this grid. My average rank is 7.29. So we're only like a point off from them, but you'd be amazed how much a 1 point average move will affect your call volume. Um, when our business was located in Rowlett, Texas, we were dominating, and we'll get there. We just, for those of you that are new and whatnot, we're talking about your Google Business Profile ranking. I'll kind of show you guys what I can, like from the desk or from the laptop, that is. So what we're looking at here, every dot is showing you where you rank when someone types in. So the search that I typed in here was pest control service. So this is showing you each dot is an indicator of if someone were to search at this moment, at this location, pest control service, this is where your company would rank in the Google Map Pack. What is the Google Map Pack? The Google Map Pack is if you go on your phone or you go on your laptop, tablet, whatever, and type in any type of service, pest control service, plumbing service, HVAC service, duct clean, whatever the case may be. Duct cleaning. Most of those are scams. But you type any of those type of services in, and you type in like near me or your town, or you don't even have to do that anymore, as a matter of fact, because what's crazy is, and this is where a lot of companies are getting crushed right now, they're still focusing on search terms like near me. And Google's new algorithm update has shown you're wasting your time because Google automatically removes that, and they look at how local is it to the customer or the potential customer, that is, from where they're actually looking. That's why when you type in any of these, services, pest control, plumbing, electrician, whatever, when you type the search, it will ask you, at least it does on the iPhone, do you give Google permission to use your location for this search? And you hit yes, and then boom, the search results populate the ones that are closest to you. So Google doesn't even pay attention to the whole near me, close to me, any of that type of search anymore. It'll still pop up in your analytics for like search terms that you popped up for, but they do all that automatically. So the whole point is what Google's telling you, with telling us, that is, not just you, me too, what they're telling us is stop trying to keyword stuff. Just publish the good content that's going to help our algorithm attract the right customers to you and you to the right customers, and your profile rankings and your website rankings for that matter will increase with time. That's the other thing. You got to think like this company right here, All Safe Pest Management, or Pests and Termite, that is, they've been in business for years. They have 3,422 reviews. The next company down, Safe Pro, they've been in business for multiple, I think a decade or so as well. They've got 979 reviews. Now there is one in here that is interesting. All Star Pest Control. They've only got 41 reviews. Okay, well, they're dominating one little tiny section. See, that's the beauty of this local Falcon too. When it says competitor report, you can literally type on you can click on each competitor, and it will show you their rankings as well. So see how they're dominating like one little corner. I mean, that's cool and all. It's helping their average rank position. Like they're number 3 on this list. We're number 5. But like you saw what their graph looked like. Keep in mind, we just moved our business profile 1 month ago to the day. It didn't even go live until about 3 weeks ago now, 3.5 weeks ago. And this is what ours looks like in that same area. So you see, like we have a lot of yellow. That all of this stuff that's in the yellow here, this is all going to be green probably within 90 days is what it's looking like. And again, this is a Sunday. We are closed right now. And like I said, one of the algorithm updates a few months ago started kind of pushing your rankings down in your after hours, and then they will go up during your business hours. I haven't noticed as much of that lately, but in some areas I do notice that it's dropped off versus Friday afternoon when we were still open. So again, I'll show you guys, like, which would you rather have? Would you rather have dominating like a couple, about a mile radius, or would you rather have, still plenty of 1s and 2s and 3s, but then you have some 4s and some 5s and things of that nature as well. With, again, everything in place to push those 4s and 5s up to 3s and 2s in the coming weeks as well. So I don't even know how we got on. Oh, yeah, we got on that subject because we were talking about if you can't afford to pay for ads, which most of you guys cannot. I can't beat that into your heads enough. If you, like I said, about 30 minutes ago now, if you don't have at least $50 to $100 a day to dump into Google Ads or whatever advertising platform you're wanting to put money in, now we're not talking lead gen. We're talking PPC, Google Ads. We're not talking Google Local Services, Thumbtack, things of that nature where you pay per lead. If you have a small amount of money, I would go ahead and put that money to work. Go ahead and use those lead generation platforms. But if you have little to no money to do anything, go all in on your Google business profile. This is stuff that is free. All it costs you is sweat equity, which means what? Time, learning, energy, just doing the work. And that's what, being a business owner is all about to begin with at the end of the day, is you're going to be doing a lot of this stuff that early on you're going to be like, damn, like, is this even doing anything? Because that's the other thing. I'll see people, they'll get super excited. They'll publish a post every single day on their Google business profile, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 8 or 9 weeks. And then when their ranking has only changed, their average ranking is, it went from an average ranking of 19.5 to 16. They're like, well, the phone is barely ringing. Like, I'm getting like a couple calls a month. Well, dude, you just literally shaved 3 points off, which I love, by the way. My favorite process is taking a new location with an average ranking of like 19 or 20 and just shaving points off every single month. Because that first 6 to 12 months, you're going to see so much growth in terms of your average ranking. And obviously the phone's going to be ringing with that too. Thought somebody was coming in the house. But yeah, like and that's why having a tool, going back to softwares and how all these softwares are important, having a tool like Local Falcon or Bright Local, if you prefer Bright Local, any of these tracking softwares. There's another one out there I tried for a minute called like Localo or something like that. It was a weird name, but I didn't really like it that much because they would just put random dots on the map. It wasn't like a grid or anything like that. But my whole point is it's so important to have a tool like that to keep you focused, because when you're just doing it over and over and over and over, and all you're judging the results based off of is how many leads you're getting, which is obviously the most important indicator, but it doesn't happen overnight is my point. So whenever you have a tool like this in place and you see, okay, sure, we were ranking an average on June 2nd, we were ranking 19.8, but now on July 2nd, we're ranking 16.1. Like, you just increased your average rank by 3 points in a month. Imagine doing that over the next 6 months, where you're going to be, you know. Let's see. How's it going there, Todd? Todd says, I'm ranking top 3 multiple times around me and I'm not getting calls. So here's the other thing with that. So this goes back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago, Todd. What is the population density in your area? Do you have let's see, you said top 3 in multiple towns around me. So I'm assuming we're going to say a 10-mile radius, it sounds like. And you can tell me if it's a different radius or whatever, but I'm going to assume roughly a 10-mile radius. Um, I'm going to assume, matter of fact, Todd, if you're still tuning in, shout out what town or suburb or whatever the case may be that your business is located in. And if you feel comfortable enough, shout out your company in the chat as well. I'll do like a quick analysis for you. Take a look at like the area and all that type of stuff to see what's going on with as to why you're ranking top 3 in multiple towns around you. If you're ranking top 3 in multiple towns around you, I'm assuming you're ranking number 1 in your main area. So then it comes down to the actual area. Is there enough potential clients in that area to get the phone ringing as well? And then on top of that, the time of year, right? Because, now, of course, right now we're in the main busy season, right? But it's not abnormal for me, November, December, January to be super slow. And then you would think February slow too, but February, for some crazy reason, is usually one of my busiest months of the year from a Google Business Profile standpoint. How's it going there, Serge? I feel like I've seen you in here before. So welcome back, if so. And if y'all are tuning in for the first time, welcome. Don't be shy. See, we got a dozen of y'all in here. Don't be shy. Shout out any questions you have if you're looking at starting a pest control business or any type of service business for that matter, and you got any questions about, being profitable, growing your business, all that type of stuff. If you're enjoying the stream, do me a favor as well. Smash that thumbs up button. It helps other people see the content for the first time and join our awesome community that seems to be growing by the day out here. Sir said, besides stacking up reviews, is there anything else you found works really well for SEO for a new company? Does repeating cities and keywords? Yes. So I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I see we got 2 of you that put your companies down there. I think Todd did as well. So we'll take a look at that as well. But I want to just address Serge's question real quick. So what we do, and I have videos about this as well on the channel, kind of breaking down how we structure the website. In short, it's called silo structure. You got your home page, then you got your service location pages. Then underneath each service location page, we're going to have the services of that service location. So say again, home page, service locations. What are the service locations? For me, it's Dallas, Plano, Richardson, so on and so on. So we have pages for all that. Under that, let's say the Dallas one, for example, we're going to have ant control, Dallas, Texas, rodent control, Dallas, Texas, termite control, Dallas, Texas. That's linking up to the Dallas page, right? Because we're building topical authority around the subject of pest control, Dallas, Texas, which over time will give Google no choice but, assuming you're putting good content out there too, right? You're not just literally regurgitating a bunch of BS and 200-word articles and things of that nature. Doing that over and over and over gives Google no choice but to be like, man, like this website is like dedicated to this subject. Let's go ahead and push that up the rankings. Some companies do other things as well, but usually they're short-lived from my experience. And what I'm trying to do really quick is pull up like what our LinkTree looks like. There's a tool that we've also done a video over called Screaming Frog, where you can actually look at like your competitor's website, your website, and make sure things are structured properly. It's running the report right now. It usually runs pretty quick. Yeah, it's at 90% already. Let's see. Let's get this pulled up here. Visualizations. It's at 99%. I think we have something like 150 to 200 pages or more at this point on our website, just to give you guys some context when I'm talking about just how much work it takes for the SEO side of things. Like a lot of companies have like one page, just a home page, or they'll have like a home page and then the locations they service, like a 10 page or even 12 page website, which is better than one page, don't get me wrong. But a lot of, I'm trying to get this pulled up here to show you guys. A lot of companies, though, I'm trying to figure out how to zoom out. A lot of companies don't even, this isn't even my whole website. What the hell? So this isn't even my whole website, but I must have did it too soon. But I'll give you guys just kind of a, what it looks like, essentially. So what you're looking at essentially is just how it breaks down. So see how we have like our service, like our service location pages, and then we have actual like services underneath the service location pages, and it just breaks down and down and down as far as you want to break it down. But most important, like I said, this didn't even run the whole report, so that's kind of annoying. It is the free version. That's the one downside of their free version is it's kind of junky, but I don't use it enough to justify paying for the paid version. But it is a cool tool, if nothing else, just to look at and make sure that you are linking your link strategy with internal linking is linking properly, that you're not cross-linking or like you wouldn't want to link your Ant Control Dallas, Texas page to your Richardson, Texas page, right? Like you only want it to link up, if that makes sense. Let's see. Let's see. Bug out said, do mine. I'm in Sweetwater, Texas. I'm going to do Todd's real quick, and then I may have missed it, but what does. Oh, Local Falcon's like $24, I want to say. Something like that. 24 and maybe like 26, 27 after tax, but yeah, it's not bad at all. Let me see. What is Todd's again? Pest ad set. Avon Lake, Ohio. So first, so is that like outside of Cleveland? Let me look here. So here's one interesting thing. So the only issue I see from the get-go with your profile is it looks like they have you classified as a service area business, which means like your address is not showing, Todd. Which that's weird actually, because let me see. I do see here you're posting photos and you got a good little video up. So I mean you're doing the right stuff. You just even posted a day ago. Yeah, like you're posting pretty frequently too, and some good posts on top of that. Are you doing these yourself, Todd? Because you're posting actually pretty good posts. It looks like you got your profiles linked: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Let's see, you got 13 reviews. Let's see the last time you got a review. So your newest review 2 weeks ago. So I mean, not too far off. I mean, even me, I go through stretches of 2 to 6 weeks in some cases without a review. I'm on a dry spell right now. I got up to like 115, 120, and I haven't had a review in like 2 to 4 weeks now. But you do have one 2 weeks ago, so. Huh. Yeah, the main thing here that I'm seeing, like I said, is it looks like you're classified as a service area business, so they're not showing your address. Like if we look up my company, like I'll show you the difference real quick. I'm just pulling up my profile just to show you kind of what I mean. So like with yours, for example, see how it's showing like a circle of the map, if that makes sense? See how there's like a little circle of like your service area? So that usually means 99% of the time you're on there as a service area business. Where if we look at mine, it'll just show where it says like see outside because you can actually see the plaza that our business is located in, and then on top of that you can actually see the ad. I think you can see the address down there. Yeah, down towards the bottom you can actually see the address, the unit number, all that good stuff. Which I'm not scared to show anymore because if someone crazy on YouTube wants to show up, I'm never there. So, but yeah. That's one thing I would try to get fixed. It can be difficult. You can flirt with suspension status if you don't handle it properly. Usually, your best case to get approved is either having a single home family address, which does technically go against the guidelines, but I never had an issue with. Or you do have an actual physical office like we now have as well. That's going to be your two easiest ways. To get that switched over. Usually they'll want to do some kind of verification video, which we did a detailed video about. I think I titled it something like before you change your business profile location, do this. And it's like a little checklist, if I recall. But so far, that seems to be the main thing that I would do. The other thing, let me click on your actual service area. So your main service area, I thought it was in Cleveland. Looks like it's just west of Cleveland, Ohio. You can tell me if I'm wrong. These don't look like super populated. Like, if you were to estimate, Todd, if you're still in here right now, what would you say your just ballpark? Like, you don't have to be spot on or anything, but what would you say your ballpark service area that Google has on this map right here? I'll pull up a blowed up version of the map for you. Um, what would you say that your service area population is in terms of potential customers? Like what's the overall population, I guess? And specifically, if you could even go a step further, do you happen to know roughly a ballpark of the percentage that are homeowners or business owners? That'd be even better if you have a ballpark on that. Based on what I'm seeing here, just on the Google Maps, I'm like zooming in. I mean, there is some areas that have some population over here in the Amherst area. Um, it looks like another area in here called Illyria might have a little bit, but nothing like. There's nothing very large, I would say, in terms of like population. Until you get closer to that West Cleveland area towards like Lakewood, and looks like Brooklyn, Ohio. And that, if you can, here's the other caveat I'll give you too. If you're worried that your business profile will get suspended by trying to go from service area business to service business with a physical location, what you might have to end up doing is expanding your reach. But I don't know if you want to do that either from a drive time standpoint because it looks like you already have a pretty wide service area east to west. So yeah, if you're in here, Todd, definitely let us know. I'll keep this pulled up while we're waiting for you to respond, and I'll go ahead and look at who was it? Bug Out. I was going there. Tropical Fruit Loops. How'd you get that little hand there? Is that like a sticker or something? Let's see. So Bug Out, where are you at? Sweetwater, Texas. So Bug Out, Termite, and Pest Control. Sweetwater. The good thing is, right as soon as I typed in your company name, your city name popped up, which seems to. That's usually a good sign. Let's see. Where are you at, by the way? Oh, yeah, you're towards Abilene. That's right. So I'm seeing actually similar thing for you. You're classified also as a service area business. No address showing. Which, like I said, I mean, that's not always the end of the world either, guys. Like, it's not always the end of the world. It's just the rankings are going to kind of be all over the place. Like, one day, like Todd said, could be ranking top three in a bunch of areas. And then the next day, like, you're down. Like, there's a company that I'm actually competing with, or I was when we were located in Rowlett, Texas, who they would be like beating me in some cases, some days, and then they'd be down towards like number 12 the next day, sometimes even the same day. So when you have your business on Google as a service area business, your rankings are much more likely to kind of fluctuate. Let me try this really quick. I'm trying this teleport option. And I'll do this for you in a sec as well, Todd, Petty, if you're still in the chat. So I'm going to go kind of smack dab in the middle of Abilene. And the term we're going to use for search is pest control service. So what's cool about this GMB Everywhere is they have what's called teleport, where I can look for a specific company. Like right now we're doing Bug Out Pest and Termite Control LLC, and we're looking at, where are they ranked. So in a very specific area on top of that. So let's see. So here's a prime example actually. It just pulled up. I'm gonna show you guys this. I'm gonna zoom out a little so Todd, or not Todd, Bug Out can see. Man, y'all got a HEB down there in Abilene. We're getting ours over here on the east side of Dallas in like a year. So as you can see, you're ranked 20 plus in this area of Abilene right now. It stops at 20, so it just says 20 plus. Let me try another area. I'm doing like within your service area too. Let's try another one. Let's try like right here, right off I-20. I'm gonna run one more. I'm going a little bit further west, kind of more towards the center of your route. And again, we're using the search phrase pest control service. Let's see. So see in this one too. I'm gonna try to zoom out a little bit. I guess this is like just east of a town called Tye, Tye. Also ranked 20 plus. Let me see what you're saying. I don't have an office either. Do you have a single home, a single family home, that is? Let's see. Yeah, I'm literally in Sweet. Let me see. Where's Sweetwater at in here? Oh, Sweetwater's a lot further west. Okay, let me do one more. I'm getting closer to Sweetwater. How far is Abilene from you, by the way? That looks like a solid 45-minute drive. Okay, so you do rank number one. Okay, so we found our first like really good ranking. You in where am I at? Where the I-20 is this an interstate or highway? 70? Is it 70? It looks like. Can't tell if that's a highway. It looks like it's just a highway. Some type of connector here at I-20 in like the northeastern area of Sweetwater. You are ranking number one for that. So I mean that is a good sign that you are ranking number one right there. But again, this is the territory of doing the service area business is. So are you actually located? You say you are located in Sweetwater too. So that really wouldn't change much then for you. If you're already ranking well, let me look at it. I'm gonna look at the total opposite side of Sweetwater. Let me see. I'm gonna go like to the southwest side. It looks like there's a place called Family RV Center, Sweetwater. That's where we're gonna search next. I guess I can do this for Todd Petty too, if Todd Petty's still in here. Teleport. I'm betting you're ranking pretty well over here too. Let's take a look. So you are number one there as well. So yeah, it looks like you said, for Sweetwater, um, you're ranking pretty well overall. And the other thing is it looks like, and like I said, if you're tuning in and you're wondering like, what the heck is this dude looking at? I'm running a local search report for who is it? Bug Out, Pest and Termite, on my laptop over here. Yeah, it looks like Sweetwater's a good little drive from Abilene, which is unfortunate. Because I was going to say, if Sweetwater was like just to the west, like where Merkel or Ty, those little towns are, you could rank in Abilene relatively easy. Um, if you wanted to, you could try to shift your service area, because I see you have Colorado City, Lorain, Roscoe, all those little towns in there. You could cut those out and don't push your service area further east or anything. Just cut out some of that, because you got to think, compare it to like Google Ads, where you have a big service area that you're trying to put ad money at, right? That ad money can only go so far. Same concept to a degree when it comes to your Google Business Profile too. You're only going to be able to take up so much of a footprint on the map pack. So you have to kind of decide, would you rather rank, because I'm assuming you're ranking pretty good in Roscoe, Lorain, probably even Colorado City a little bit. Would you rather rank in those little areas that probably, by the looks of it, don't have nearly as many people as, say, Abilene, Ty, Wiley, etc., out there towards Abilene? Or would you rather rank in those areas closer to Abilene? That might be one tweak you want to make. Run with it for a couple months, see if anything changes for you. If you can't get, because I was gonna say the physical profile location, but even if you get a physical profile location in Sweetwater, you're not going to rank that well out towards Abilene, because it's just too far. Let me see. I want to see how far they are. How far is Sweetwater, Texas to Abilene? Oh man, 40 miles. Yeah, you have no chance of ranking that far out there. Okay, that makes sense why you're ranking 20 plus. Yeah, even with a optimized profile and everything, yeah, you got virtually no chance of ranking that far. I wouldn't even worry about what I was talking about, the whole shifting your cutting down on the west side of your service area, because 40 miles, 41 miles, that's too far. I mean, if it was 15, maybe even 20, you might have a chance. But um, I mean, in all honesty, I'd probably even just take Abilene out and start it right around like Merkel, or that town Ty that we were referring to. Um, yeah, it looks like you have a pretty rural area that you service. Hmm. And you have nine, like you said, you had 10 reviews and they took one away, which is just BS. But I would try to, let me see when your most recent reviews were really quick. Looks like you just had one actually a few weeks ago, or no, 1 week ago. So you just had one 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago. Okay, so you're on the right track. Um, you will dominate as much as they will allow you to dominate relatively quickly. But like I said, I got a feeling they're going to cut you off right around Merkel, maybe Ty, best case scenario. So hopefully that kind of helps. I mean, what I personally would even suggest, if you actually want to work in Abilene, where most of the work is, right? Um, I would establish this profile And then once you start getting to a point where you can afford an office, I would keep my eyes out on like LoopNet, things of that nature for office space out there. I'm assuming you can probably find some office space for around 300. I mean, I got some in Plano, Texas, and one of the richest zip codes in all of Texas for $400 a month. So I'm sure in Abilene, you could probably find some for at least that price or even less. I would keep your eyes out on it, and the moment you find a spot that seems ideal for you, I would move this location to that office, kind of like what we did with our location recently. And then if you want to open up a secondary location again in your Sweetwater location, then go ahead and do that. Um, that's probably your best bet in terms of getting like really cranking up your call. I was trying to use my freaking mouse to scroll the comments. Let's see. So you do have a house, and yeah, that like I said, that would help you at least dominate locally. Which, to be fair, you are dominating locally already. So I mean, that's a good thing. I would definitely hop on Local Falcon or Bright Local, one or the other, and take a look at your overall grid, and then start dissecting it from there. How's it going, Genesis? Genesis Pest Management says 14 people watching, only 10 likes. Come on. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, see, we got like a dozen of you in here right now. If you're just tuning in and you're enjoying the stream so far, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. Better yet, take a step further. Share it with somebody if you know somebody that you think would benefit from the channel, from the stream, anything like that. I appreciate that so much. We just continue to grow this community over here. I think we lost Todd Petty. I don't know if he's in the chat anymore because we were breaking down his location a second ago. Stony Bulldog says, I'm on Lake Granbury, Spider City. What's the name of your company again, Stony? I forget. Is it Spider? Hold on. Oops. Is Spider City the company? Surely there's not a Spider City, Texas. I've only lived in Texas for how long? I've lived in Texas for what? My God, already like 8 years, 7 years, something like that. Spider City must be the company. I know we got some crazy names for cities and towns in Texas, but surely there's not a Spider City. Let's see, you said Granbury, right? Or Lake Granbury. No, that's not the name of the company either. What's the name of the company? Stony? How's it going? AAA, or I guess that'd be AAA, huh? AAA Exterminating. Interesting content you put out. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Hopefully, like I always say, hopefully it can just help somebody. Like I always talk about on my channel, I always try to phrase it in terms of like, man, if I knew what I knew today back then, boy, we'd be so much further along from the $25,000 mistake that we made. Which I say 25,000. That's just how much it costs. That doesn't factor in how much freaking business we lost on top of that. Man, just everything that I've learned. Like if I knew what I knew 4 years ago, or if I knew what I knew today 4 years ago, dude, we'd be keeps me up at night. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Sir says, Griffin, could you please look at mine? Pioneer Pest Solutions, Greeley, Colorado. Everything went up a week and a half ago, so still pretty new. Yeah, if yours just went up, then there's a good chance that it's not going to be ranking very well. But let me see. What's it called again? Pioneer Pest Solutions. Pioneer Pest Solutions in what town again? Greeley, Colorado. Let's see. Oops. Didn't type in Colorado. All right. I think I'm looking at the right one here. You said just went up. Is it? I'm assuming it's the one with like 4 reviews. I see similar things so far. Service area business, no address. Let's see. You got 4 reviews already. 2 weeks ago, or no, 3 2 weeks ago, and then 1 about 5 days ago. So we are getting reviews, so that's a good start. Let me try to run this GMB everywhere real quick. Trying to pull up your search ranking so far just to give you an idea. What town is it again? Greeley, Colorado. So, what I will do is, what the hell, why is this not working? Oh, here we go. Pest control service. Here we go. So search, and then we will do I have to scroll down to find your company first, and then I can run the report. Let's see. There we go. Finally found you. Okay, so teleport. Pest control service, and then let's drop a pin really quick to see. I'll do it. Drop it right there. So I'm gonna drop it just to kind of the northwest side of Greeley, just to try it out real quick. Let's see. Yes, that's the one. Don't have an office yet. Genesis pest management message retracted. Oh, means they deleted their message. Let's see what else we got. AAA Exterminating says there's a lot of focus nowadays on recurring revenue. Exactly. Some larger companies have stopped doing one-time services without contracts. Do you think this is an opportunity? I mean, it's an opportunity to get your foot in the door. I've had a handful of customers over the years who've used us for one-time services call us back. The one that I tell the story of that happened recently was a guy that I serviced in literally 2021. It was almost 3 years ago to the day, and he called us up about a month and a half ago. Because he was starting to see some little bit of inactivity, and he just wanted a one-time service again. And I was fine with that. It's not too much of a drive. It's about 20 minutes from me, 25 minutes, and 225 plus tax for a one-time with a 30-day warranty that he's never used before. So, if I were to turn that down, we would have lost $450 from him over the last couple years. Like, I'm never going to turn away money. Now, I never lead my pitch with one-time service in mind. Like, the word-for-word pitch that like we start out with, assuming they're calling about general pest issues, ants, roaches, spiders, all that general stuff, is we give them the best deal up front. We're like, hey, if you want, we can give you a full year coverage, comes with 4 treatments, and it's warranted for 365 days. Gonna come out to 425 plus tax for the year. Just a random number. That's like our 1,500 to 2,000 square foot ish homes. $425 plus tax for the full year. That includes your warranty for 365 days. You'll get a service agreement for your records as well, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll be like, or because we know not everybody has $400 to $500 just sitting around, if you'd rather pay as you go, we do have an option where you can just pay, 125 or 99 or whatever the price ends up being, and then whatever your monthly rate is, month to month, we can go that route as well. And then if they're not interested in those two options, they'll literally tell you, usually they'll be like, do you have anything like just a one-time? And that's where we'll be like, oh yeah, no, I mean, we can offer a one-time service. It's usually not the most cost-effective way of going about doing it, because like we said, 1 year is only $425. But if you wanted a one-time service with a 30-day warranty, that would just come out to $200 or $225 or $179, whatever the price is for you. And then we usually tell them they can waive the 30-day warranty if they want as well, which will save them $25. So that's kind of usually how the conversation goes when it comes to that. Hopefully that kind of helps. Yeah, we definitely do. I'm doing a one-time next Thursday, as a matter of fact, for it's like what is the size of that home? I forget. It's like 2,000 square feet or something like that. I'm just doing it for like $179. And the other thing is she said that it's a house that she bought that she's going to rent out to her son, it sounds like. And they're trying to decide if the son or her is going to kind of upkeep on the pest control, but she at least wants a one time to get started, and then she'll probably, assuming she likes the service, yada yada yada, right? Go ahead and do continual. So it's like, why would you burn that bridge as a company? Like, oh no, we don't do one times at all. Why not? Well, just because we don't. Like what? Like you're gonna turn away a customer? Like it just. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, do we lead with it? Absolutely not. But are we gonna like say no? We just don't do that? No, that'd be stupid. That's like, yeah, that's just like when I went to the Dallas Mavericks playoff game. What was it? Game 3. Shout out to the Mavs, by the way, in the finals. But when we went to, what was it? Game 3, I think, or yeah, something like that. Yeah, Game 3. It was the end of the game, and we went to go try to, get some merch real quick. I was gonna either get a jersey or, something, right? And all I had was a drink. It was almost empty, and they wouldn't even let us in. I was like, what? And he's like, oh, no food or drink. I was like, it's literally almost gone. It's just Sprite. Like, I'm not a little kid. Oh, no food or drink. I was like, huh, okay, I guess y'all don't want money then. Like, I'll just go somewhere else. Like, I just left. So, saved me money anyways. But, yeah, I don't understand the whole turning business down. Unless if, it's like an extreme situation. But back to Pioneer Pest. I see Pioneer, you are number 9 in that location. So I'll pull it up for you really quick, so you can see kind of where it's at. Looks like it's just north of, like I said, just kind of northwest area of that town. Was it Greeley, Colorado? Northwest of Garden City and all that. You're ranking number 9 right now. And for a company, don't get me wrong, for a company that is brand new, that's a very good ranking for only a couple weeks in. So I would just suggest keep doing what you're doing. Because it looks like, based on your Google business profile, you're already getting reviews. I'm trying to go back to it real quick to take a look at the overall profile. Yeah, you have your description filled out. You're getting reviews. I would try to add more social profiles. I see you only got Facebook linked. The more you have linked, the better. I would try to get, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, everything that they have on there, TikTok, all of that linked in there. It doesn't look like you've posted an update yet. I would post an update, and I would post some Q&As on there. But overall, it's a very good start, if nothing else, especially for only 2 weeks in to opening up the business profile. Like, you're not doing bad by any means. It's a good start. You just need to keep going, make some tweaks. If possible, same thing as the past 2 or 3 companies we looked at. Try to get a physical location in that service area if possible. But if not, it's not the end of the world. AAA says we are trying to move to monthly subscription, but our older customers hate the idea. Yeah. Yeah. And when you say monthly subscription, I'm assuming you're talking like us where it's like quarterly, but you pay it month to month. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I still have, I would say less than 10% at this point, but I still have a good little chunk of our customers that are like day one customers that they pay per service. And I will still give them an option for that as well. Similar to the one time service, like I will give it as an option, but it's kind of like our last resort before going to the one time service. Like, say, for example, a customer we're going to quote at, 125 to start up and then $35 a month going forward. So, that customer would be like 420 for the year if they wanted to pay for the year up front and be done in that example. Say they were like, I don't want to pay for the year, I don't want to pay month to month. Okay, cool. Well, your other option is you can just pay 129 to get started and 129 per quarter going forward. Like that's your other option. And it doesn't come with a warranty. Why? Because we have people that want to take advantage of the system, schedule the service when they want to schedule the service. That's where you get a one time. So that's how we do it here. That's our protocol. If you don't like it, that's okay. There's other companies. We're not for every customer. Not every customer's for us. Like it's okay. But yeah, that's how we go about the ones that like want to pay per service. Most people anymore, even a lot of my older customers, like you said with the older ones, a lot of them even like they don't really mind it. I do have one who pays me every month with either cash or check every month. Like doesn't like the idea of like using a card, putting it on file, all that. Which I don't care. I mean, I'm getting my money still every month, but yeah, it's funny for sure. I do weekly for large companies. Oh yeah. Weekly charges or weekly service? Genesis. Salvador, how's it going? So what's up? What's up? Sir says, got it. Thank you. Didn't know updates help the rankings. How often? I mean, ideally every day, especially when you're like just starting your Google business profile every day. Usually using a software like Loomly will help you because like what I'll do is I'll go into Loomly whenever I have time and I'm thinking about it. I'll go into Loomly and try to schedule 2 to 4 weeks of post for like 9 a.m. every single day. And then just do that once a month. Because the cool thing with Loomly too is you can go in and copy and paste a post. That way you're not having to retype it up and all this stuff every month. Like you can go in there and copy and paste. Now, I would suggest with saying that, I would suggest each month having new content because you don't want to fall into the whole duplicate content argument with Google's algorithm and stuff. I would still be creating content on a monthly basis. One, because you need to for your website rankings, but two, like we said, it'll just keep you in the good graces of Google's algorithm. And but when you need some filler, you can copy and paste post on Loomly as well. That way, like I say, you're not having to retype it all every month. AAA exterminating say, yup. Yeah. I mean, we talked about a lot today. Man, we've already been live for looks like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. That's crazy. I mean, we did go over a lot today. This was in my opinion, this is one of the better streams that we've had. We've had 10 to 20 of you all in here, pretty much the entire stream. Y'all been asking some great questions today. We talked about a lot. Just to kind of recap, from the beginning of the stream to now, what all we've gone over. We've gone over all different types of softwares that are a must, in my opinion, for keeping your business profitable. Tracking, making your life easier, using things like a good CRM and using, if you don't want to pay for a whole new cell phone, using something like OpenPhone for your call software. Still using CallRail, by the way, for tracking purposes. OpenPhone doesn't replace CallRail by any means. You need CallRail still to track all the marketing, but OpenPhone is great if you don't want to have to keep purchasing phone plan. You can just literally, if you want to, you can have your technician download the OpenPhone app on their phone, set them up with their own phone number on open phone, give them, their limited permissions to be able to contact the customers on their route. You can actually even see all of those messages, phone calls, even the voicemails, everything on the back end, because as the owner of the account, you get access to all of the phone numbers. So, I mean, like I said, to me, open phone is by hand. I mean, I've been using it now for a year. It'll be a year next month, but for a year now, and it has saved me so much time, money more than anything. Because, like I said, a phone line is 45 to 65 a month anymore. Then you got the price of the phone on top of that. Most phones, even if you're getting a cheaper one, are $10 to $25 a month. So you're talking. We'll just call it what, $60 a month, where you can get an open phone number for like $15 to $20 a month, especially if you use the link in the description box. They give you, I think, a free trial and then 10% off the first 3 months. And so you're saving what, a net of approximately like $30 or $40 a month times 12 months. I mean, you're talking almost, what, $500 a year, or no, 400 roughly bucks a year. So we talked about that. Again, of course, we always bring up GorillaDesk just because it's, from my experience, hands down, for the price it costs, the best CRM in the industry as well. Speaking of that, as always, if you want to try GorillaDesk out for free, they did hook you all up about a month or two ago with GorillaDesk PRO for 2 weeks free. You don't even have to put a card on file, anything like that. I'm not like in their company or anything like that whatsoever. They just saw my videos and they're like, hey, here's an affiliate link for your audience. They can try GorillaDesk Pro 2 weeks free, which the Pro version is that version that I use, the $99 a month version. Don't even make you put your card on file or anything like that. So if you want to try it out, if nothing else, see if you like it. There's no strings attached. Let's see. Yeah, we use GorillaDesk also. I have 7 techs. Oh, okay. There you go. Dang, should use my affiliate code. No, I'm playing. But yeah, you can attest to it then, AAA. Let them know. Let them know what you think about GorillaDesk. Because, I mean, I've heard a lot of people all of a sudden bickering about GorillaDesk because they've had like one outage recently, about a week or two ago on a Saturday. And I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, man, I never had an outage with GorillaDesk ever. Like, ever. That was the first one that I'd ever experienced. Now, have there been times where it's like loaded slow or whatever the case may be? Sure, it's had its moments, but I've never had issues like what I hear people on like Field Routes, Pest Pack, BryoStack, or whatever the hell it's called. All these other ones, right? All I hear is freaking issues after issues after issues on these platforms. And, like I said, for the price of GorillaDesk, I mean, you're talking what, like $99 a month, and then like an additional 49 or something like that per technician that you add. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. I mean, can there always be better? Sure. But until someone makes something better, it is what it is. Salvador said, I heard a couple minutes of your local Falcon stuff. I'm going to need to start tracking better. So hard to find time to push that data. That's why I love push reports, not pull. Yeah, that's true. And I think, let me go back here actually, Salvador. I think you can, I believe, schedule. Yeah, you can schedule reports on here on local Falcon. I never do, but like, see, so I just clicked on it real quick just so you can see. You can go in here and you can schedule an auto scan. It'll send you an email report and everything. Man, I just got a bunch of alerts: severe thunderstorm watch, tornado watch. Welcome to Texas 2024. But yeah, you can actually do schedule reports on there. It'll email you a like a PDF copy and all that type of stuff. Now, I believe if you want to go further in detail, like look at the competitor reports where you rank compared to your competitors, things of that nature, you'll want to actually go in there and click on like the competitor report, trend report, all that type of stuff. But in terms of the actual grid, I'll show you an example of like what an email looks like whenever the scan report goes through. because I know we just ran one. Man, which email am I set up on? All right, there we go. So this is kind of what it looks like. There is a PDF as well you can click on. Like if you hit view your scan report, it'll pull up like a PDF, but it'll show your found in points, like how many of the data points that are on there on the map, how many points you were in, your average rank position, average total rank position, which I don't know what that means, and then share of local voice. Like it'll show you like kind of a little breakdown of everything. So yeah, like I said, you can set that up on a auto scan as well. Like if you want to do once a week, once a month, they give you enough credits where I mean you could damn near run one a day if you wanted to. If you were just doing kind of like one search term like pest control or whatever. Like me, oftentimes I'll just run pest control service because that kind of gives me a broad view of what our average is across all the search terms. But I mean, you could type in any search term. I mean, you could do termite treatment, termite control, rodent control, wildlife removal, any of those type of services. Yeah, nice. I'm gonna sign up this week. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, wish they would hook me up with an affiliate code for y'all. But it's cheap. I mean, that's probably why they don't offer any type of affiliate discounts or anything for you guys because it's cheap. I mean, it's like $25 a month. So I mean, if they marked it down, say 10% with affiliate code, what's it gonna give you? $2 off, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, it's cheap enough where it definitely pays for itself. Said I honestly have little idea how we've been progressing. Yeah, so I mean, you'll really like that in terms of the trend report because you can go in there on the trend report and look at how I was talking about each different keyword that you're tracking. Let me see if I can pull up an example. Here we go. So this is for pest control service. It's trying to pull it up for us. Ours obviously has been all over the place because we just moved the location recently. So this one here is our what was 18 or here. I'll just do the average rank one. There we go. Yeah, this is like our average rank one across the entire grid. So like obviously ours is all over the place right now since we just established the new not new listing but the location change. Um, I was trying to see if I could find a report trend based on when we were in Rowlett, but I don't think I can. I think since I moved the location, it essentially kind of erased, so to speak, all that previous data. Because you can see, obviously, where when we moved the location, our average page rank went from 5 down to 9. And then 2 weeks later, we recovered all the way back up to like a 6. And what do you notice? Since we haven't gotten, and that was right when we were getting reviews and this and that, we haven't gotten any reviews in 2 or 3 weeks now. So what do I notice here? Okay, well, we've slid down from an average ranking of 5.67 all the way down to a 7.29. So our average ranking has actually dropped about a net of 2 points. So that just goes to show you guys how important review velocity. Now, do you have to get 10 reviews a day? Hell no. I mean, it's just not realistic for a small company just getting started. But should you be at least trying to get one review a week on average, one or two? Absolutely. You get one or two reviews a week on average, your profile average rank is just going to go as long as you're doing everything else. You can't abandon the post. You can't abandon everything else you need to do. But by continuing to get the review velocity, I would say that's 70 to 80% of the puzzle at this point. AAA says, yes, I highly recommend GorillaDesk. All my techs love it also. The best thing about GorillaDesk is it only charges for each schedule. You can have all the admins you want with no extra charge. Most other companies charge for each user. I haven't even mentioned that before. I'm going to start plugging that in my little GorillaDesk plugs for GorillaDesk because, yeah, I mean, I guess I could add my wife technically since she answers phones and stuff as well. But yeah, the fact that they don't charge for like every single user, just the technician schedule, that saves so much money because I mean, say you have, three admin people, right? Like let's say you have a call center rep or whatever, like a CSR, then you have your secretary or whatever, or we'll say a salesman, right? So you have salesman, you have a secretary, and then you got, you. Like those three people alone with that price model would be $300 a month. So yeah, that's a no brainer for me. That's why, I mean, shit. I was talking to my wife just the other day about, like, the thing with service businesses in general, pest control, plumbing, HVAC, they're all from a how you operate them standpoint, the marketing, the customer acquisition, the employees, the everything is relatively the same. So I was like, if I do end up branching off, that's why I picked the name Preferred, because Preferred can actually become like the branch, or I guess what would you call it, like the parent company of all the other companies, Preferred Pest Management, Preferred Plumbing, like whatever branch we end up deciding if we want to branch off into different companies or whatever the case may be, we'll be able to do so. But my whole point is we were like, man, we'll probably use GorillaDesk for everything across the board just because it's that good. I mean, I know people with lawn companies that use it. I know people with plumbing companies that use it. Pool companies, a lot of pool companies actually use it as well. But yeah. I mean, like I said, if you all want to try it out or take a look at it, there is a link in my description box that you all can click on. It'll give you what, like 2 weeks of the pro version for free. You can play around with it, see if it's something you want to mess with or whatever. How's it going, Bino? Does this work for other home service businesses? Which part exactly? Are you talking about GorillaDesk that we were just talking about, or the Google Business Profile? We've gone over so much today. I just want to make sure that I'm gonna be hitting on the right subject. If you're talking about GorillaDesk, yeah, GorillaDesk is like I was just talking about. It'll work for pretty much any service business where you're going to a customer's house. It's a great CRM. A lot of people compare it to like Jobber, Field Routes, things of that nature. Um, I've been using it now for what, 4 years essentially, and I've only ever experienced one outage on a Saturday morning, and the pricing has never changed either. Which, with today's inflation, is pretty crazy. Man, there's like one damn fly flying around in here. It's gonna drive me crazy. GorillaDesk, I think you answered my question. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. If you want to like look at it or anything, window cleaning. Yeah. I was looking into a cheaper CRM. So they do have a cheap quote unquote version too. It's like $49 a month. I will say, in my opinion, if you're gonna spend the 49, I would go ahead and do the 99. If you want to look, they actually have like a list of like what's all included on there. The pro version versus the basic. I've been using the $99 version since day one, and it has everything. I mean, it even has like routing features for like routing. Like, say you have, I'll just list a random number, 100 services that you plan on getting done this month. Different customers. Instead of you needing to go in there and route everything out, if you wanted to, you could literally tell it, okay, I want you to take my jobs from June 1st through June 30th and optimize it for, best route density, right? Least amount of miles travel. It will factor in drive time. It will factor in how long you plan on spending per job. It'll factor all that in there and then literally create day by day for you. I don't use that tool that much personally in there just because, of course, like in any service industry, right, you have certain jobs that have to go this day, this time. But one way to get around that with the soft routing portion of it is you can actually lock a job to where that part of the software will not move the job, if that makes sense. Like it'll leave the job right there and put jobs all around it. So that is only available in the pro version, and in that new version, I think they call it the Grow More plan, where it has VoIP service and all this other stuff in there. But like I said, if you want to like check it out, Bino, And like if you want to check it out, if nothing else, like look through it, see if it's something you want to try out. There is a link in my description box, I believe. Let me actually go on my laptop to the live stream, make sure it's in there for you guys. Yeah, it just says get GorillaDesk PRO 14 days free. If you click on that link, as far as I know, they don't even make you put a card on file or anything like that to try it out. And yeah, you can try it out 14 days for free. See if it's something that you like, and then if you do, then awesome, awesome. Salvador says, yeah, reviews are key, yet so easy to neglect. That's true. In the business of daily, like we have. So glad my bro is almost done building our automated review platform. It's pretty sick. I'll have to share. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you'll definitely have to. We've used PestPack for 16 years. Yeah, yeah. PestPack's another one that I was looking at a long time ago. 16 years. Don't think we've had many issues. Complex, though, for sure. And I know it's a bit pricey. I don't even remember how much PestPack cost anymore because it was like 2020 when I was. Isn't it Service Titan now? PestPack. I forgot if they were the one that got bought out by. Someone got bought out by Service Titan or something like that, if I remember right. It must not, or WorkWave. That's what it is. They got bought out by WorkWave because now it says PestPack by WorkWave. That's right. Let's see pricing. See, this is the other thing I don't like. Like, why can you not just put your pricing? Like, see, when I clicked on pricing, they don't. All they show is like why you should use them. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, and then just a form. They want you to fill out a form to get the pricing. Like, I don't understand. It shouldn't be that difficult to just get, even if they want to just say starting at, like say starting at $49, starting at $149. Like, just give us some kind of starting at price. Like, I shouldn't have to fill out. It's a software. I mean, it's a software. It's not a freaking service or anything where they need to come out and quote the job. Like, just give us at least some kind of ballpark, like starting at X amount a month, and call for more details, right? Yeah, WorkWave. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, these are the guys I was looking at a while back. I forget how much that, because I did talk to one of them back in like 2020, early 21, and I forget entirely what they were trying to charge. I want to say, like you said, it was pretty pricey, like 149, 249, something like that, for just a one-man operator. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys have been enjoying the live stream. If you have been, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. It lets me know that you guys, appreciate the content that we put out here. And it'll also, more than that, like forget me, right? It'll help other people that are looking at maybe starting a pest control business or any service business for that matter. Find the channel, find the content, all that good stuff as well. Everything is an annual contract for them as well, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I don't like. I like flexibility. Now, don't get me wrong, like, just like with me, with my pest control business, like, if you want to offer me a discount for paying for the year up front, that's totally cool. But don't force me to stay with you. Like, why do companies think of any kind, software business, service business, utility business, whatever the case may be, why does any business think it's a good idea to force a customer to stay with you if they're clearly dissatisfied? Like, not only have you created a dissatisfied customer, but you're going to create a customer that not only is no longer a promoter of you, but they're actually going to be a detractor of your company. Those of you that know about the NPS score system, how that works, like, you probably know kind of what I'm referring to. Like, why your whole goal is to create promoters of your business, your product, your service, whatever it is that you're selling. And do you really think by tying people down to a service or a product or whatever the case may be that they don't want, do you think that's really going to cause them to be a promoter of your brand? Maybe that's just my 2 cents. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know. I think people are kind of over the days of being forced into staying with a product or service that they no longer see a value in. But yeah, no, if we don't have any more questions or anything, I guess we'll go ahead and start wrapping up because, man, we've already been on here for over 2 hours. Like I said, we went over a lot in this stream. It lived up to the title of the video at the end of the day, how to launch a profitable pest control business. Man, we talked about so much. We talked about, of course, Google business profiles. We went over a couple of your all's Google business profiles. We talked about how valuable using different softwares, from obviously your basic bookkeeping and all that stuff to CRMs like GorillaDesk and phone software like OpenPhone, all these different softwares, how much easier they can make your life, and make sure that you're maximizing your investments in terms of advertising money, using like CallRail to track your marketing numbers and all that different type of stuff. Man, what else did we go over today? We went over expecting, cancel rates and reservice rates and all these different KPIs, like why it's so important to track them to make sure that you are staying profitable. Because just because you have money going in, if all the money's going out, you're not a profitable business, you're a nonprofit. And none of us are running nonprofits at the end of the day. At least that's what I believe here. None of us are running nonprofits, right? So, you have to track all these different metrics. That way you can feed your family at the end of the day. That's the only reason any of us are doing this, is to feed our families, become free, financially free, that is, and hopefully build a giant asset that we can either exit or pass on for generations to come. So, like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. Like I said, we went over so much today. If you're just tuning in, I definitely suggest you swipe back and to the beginning, because, man, right from the get-go, we hit the ground running. We had a lot of good information we went over today that will help you, start your business, grow it, whatever the case may be. If you're new to me, of course, and you're tuning in for the first time, just wonder who the heck is this guy. My name is Griffin Thomas, of course. I own a pest control company, specifically Preferred Pest Management, in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business about 4 years now, and I just document everything that's worked for me, doesn't work for me, the good, the bad, the ugly. Hopefully save you all lots of years, money, etc. on the learning curve of starting and growing a business, a profitable business specifically. And, if any of that sounds like it may help you or interest you, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. Lastly, I didn't even bring up, of course, we do have free groups that you guys can join. We have a Discord group that's totally free to join. Links for these are actually in my LinkTree down in the description box, but you can join our Discord group with over 200-300 members in there. We have a Facebook group that's been growing more and more. We're up to like 120 or so members in there, which, by the way, those of you in the Facebook group, do some posting, man. I see y'all posting like Bug Bucks and Pest Control Professionals and all these other pages. Don't be shy. Chat up in there with each other. All I see is posts of me posting the videos and stuff in there. Like these groups are for you guys. The group in Discord, they're always chatting. I can't even keep up with the guys in Discord, but those of you on Facebook, go ahead, chat it up in there. Don't be afraid to chat it up in there. But yeah, like I said, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, all that good stuff. I uploaded quite a few videos over the last week or so because I had a little bit more time than usual that you could benefit from as well. So if you haven't caught up on those, go ahead and check those out. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next video or live stream. Stay safe out there. We're going to start cranking up the heat. We're hitting June already. Stay safe out there. Go out there, get the money, and get the life that you and your family deserve. And I'll see you guys in the next one.